South East Wales Community Economic Development Programme, or SEWCED as it's better known, is a £13 million grant programme delivered across South East Wales by 6 local authorities, with Merthyr acting as lead. The aims of the programme were to develop the social economy throughout the convergence areas of South East Wales by creating social enterprises and developing existing social enterprises, creating jobs and making sustainable entities throughout the region. A social enterprise is a business set up to meet social aims and objectives. Any profits made is reinvested back into the business or the community. The programme funds capital and revenue expenditure, and the £13 million budget is made up of a £9 million investment from the European Regional Development Fund, topped up with contributions from the local authority and the third sector themselves. To date, SEWCED has created 113 jobs across the region, and its target of 119 will be overachieved by the end of August 2015. To date, we've created 22 social enterprises, which is vastly improved on the target of 13. As of December 2014, £8 million had been invested in social enterprises across the region, and by August 2015 this figure will increase to 10 million, including a 1.4 million contribution from the third sector themselves. The following videos will demonstrate the diverse organisations funded through SEWCED and show how social enterprises contribute to the economic growth within South East Wales.
The result actually has been phenomenal. At the beginning of the SEWCED funding, turnover was just over 200,000. In the 3-year period, which has just concluded, our turnover has increased from that 200,000 to just over 350,000. The improvement in our facilities allowed us to fetch in more customers. That's allowed us to employ more people. So our manning levels have gone from 13 people employed at the beginning of the project to 23 people who are now employed here. Because we've generated employment, that has given more spending power in the local area. But also the service we provide, we take customers to various locations within the community. So that's obviously generated more business for those amenities, if you like. SEWCED is totally different to other grant schemes because of the support that we've had, the ongoing support that we've had throughout the duration of the project. What SEWCED has allowed us to do is to become far more business-like, and also now we have a vision to move this current business into other areas because we know it's successful and we know it'll work.
Originally, because we were all volunteers, we were looking to become a business so we could create an income to keep doing the activities we wanted to do. We needed quite a lot of startup costs. Because we were only a very small community group, we would have been completely unfinanceable from a normal bank perspective. Looking at the setup costs, we didn't have any way of proving that we could make that money in the 3 years that we were asking for it, apart from our business plan. Once we were able to get SEWCED to fund us, we went to the bank to say, these people have seen our business plan, they've seen what we want to do, they're confident enough to offer us some money as a grant. Will you offer us the 25% match funding to go alongside that? And they said yes. Without that though, without someone giving us the confidence, we had no hope. SEWCED gave us that opportunity to become business and become sustainable. We're positive about the future. The business is now 3 years old. When we were still a community group, we were looking at about £5,000 turnover a year. This year, just gone now, our 3rd year of trading, we were turnover at £74,000. We wouldn't have been able to do that without support at the beginning so that we could get on with creating our income stream. For us as a group, it worked. The bank loan that is going to be paid off in March this year, so 2015. Potentially we could fund other projects to increase the income here, which will then enable us to increase the staff numbers here.
Mediaforce offer training and work placements for individuals coming out of the armed forces to ease their role back into the civvy street, if you like. We've been particularly lucky to have our local authority there to support us. They know us as businesses. They're based locally, so they know the demographics of the area and what's required. They fully understand how a social enterprise is set out. They'll help you with procurement should you need that. They'll help you deal with employment issues, if you like, or signpost you to people that can help you. Dealing with SEWCED breaks down the barriers of dealing with a local authority. It does give you direct access to all areas of the local authority. And that's one thing they're particularly good at facilitating. I think it's crucial SEWCED is being delivered by the local authority. If you look at Caerphilly, we've created 17 new social enterprises through SEWCED funding, which wouldn't have happened had that funding not been available.
When we first got involved with the scheme, it seemed to give us a lot of answers to the problems that we had at that time and remove the reliance that we've had in the past on grants from the Welsh Assembly and Environment Wales and everything else, which inevitably are going to dry up. We had expertise within the group to be able to put a good business plan together based around a firewood business. Funding is vital for new start-up businesses. Our case was probably more difficult than anybody else's because of the fact that we were based on firewood. A firewood business is a strange one in that you need to do all your hard effort in your first year, but you don't get any income for about 2 years because that wood has to then dry and season before you can sell it. Without the financial assistance that we had during that first 2 years, it would just have been impossible to do. There's no way we could have supported doing the work in the woodland without that grant. During that first couple of years, we got the firewood prepared, then we were able to start selling. Without that grant, nothing would have happened. It would have been an impossibility. The growth has been sustainable. We went from virtually no income at the beginning of it, and at the end of the first year, we were selling £10,000 worth of firewood. Long-term plans for the enterprise and everything else is we want to broaden out the range of products that we're doing, start using more of the facilities of the woodland now that we've created them, and hopefully at the same time have enough income coming in to find that nice happy medium where the income is coming in enough for us to provide the social side of it. And that's our main target, is the social side.
If Monwell hadn't spun out from the local authority and become a standalone social enterprise, it's no doubt in my mind that it would have closed due to cutbacks coming from central government and everywhere else, that there would have been no other option but to close it. SEWCED funding was instrumental in the transfer of Monwell. Being the business as it was, we knew it couldn't go forward like that. We had to get that funding to make us diversify into other products, diversify into other services that we offered. Both capital funding and the revenue funding was crucial, and in particular revenue, because obviously Monwell being a local authority, it didn't have a business development manager or a finance manager because it was all done in-house in the local authority. So it was crucial that we had to get that funding to help fund those salaries. The advice that we received from SEWCED was crucial as well, so that we could understand what support can we actually have in the first crucial beginning of the business. The benefits in spinning out from the local authority is you're in more control. You can make decisions quicker, you can take a more commercial risk, something that wouldn't have been welcomed within a local authority, understandably, with it being public money. If local authorities were looking to spin out an organisation, I would say don't hesitate, just go for it. Everybody's entitled to a chance to prove that it can work, and Mournville is that ideal that it does work.
Sefydlwyd Menter Iaith Sir Caerphilly 15 mlynedd yn ôl erbyn hyn, nôl yn 1999. Penderfynon ni ymuno â cynllun SEWCED mwyn datblygu ein darpariaeth gofal plant ni. Oedd gyda ni rhywfaint o darpariaeth yn Sir Caerphilly, oedd e'n glir bod galw cynyddol gan rieni yn lleol ar gyfer rhagor o ofal plant cyfrwng Cymraeg. Mae cynllun neu rhaglen SEWCED wedi galluogi ni I gynyddu nifer o ddarpariaethau gofal plant cyfrwng Cymraeg ar draws Sir Caerphilly. Felly nid yn unig dyn ni wedi gallu ateb gofynion gofal plant rhieni yn Sir Caerphilly, ond hefyd wedi gallu creu nifer fawr o swyddi newydd yn y maes. A hefyd wrth gwrs cynnal rôl y rheolwr busnes sy'n rheoli y ddarpariaeth I gyd. A gan bod y ddarpariaeth wedi ehangu ac yn llwyddiannus dros ben, mae'r ddarpariaeth yn cefnogi rôl hynny, ond hefyd yn cynhyrchu rhywfaint o incwm ychwanegol i'r fenter. Mae'r incwm yna wedyn yn cael ei ail-fuddsoddi fewn i'r ddarpariaethau neu I fewn I wasanaethau eraill ar gyfer plant a phobl ifanc. Dyn ni wedi gallu ateb gofynion rhieni at ryw bwynt hyd yn hyn, a wedi cynyddu ein darpariaeth gofal plant ni'n sylweddol, ond hefyd wedi creu swyddi newydd ar draws Sir Caerphilly. Felly mae wedi golygu bod y darpariaeth wedi cynyddu'n sylweddol, a hefyd bod ni wedi gallu adnabod rhagor o ofynion gofal plant ar gyfer y dyfodol.
Penrhys is ranked within the top 10 on the WIMD index for communities of multiple deprivation. It has a lot to overcome in terms of fighting poverty, reducing isolation. And Penrhys Partnership is the main provider of services for the community. We try to nurture the community in all aspects. The support that SEWCED has given allowed us to grow those services and to provide something new. It's allowed us to be a bit more daring with how we diversify our income generation and just makes us more sustainable. One of SEWCED funded projects that we had was funding for the development of a social enterprise that we've called Big Click. We were trying something that, as far as I know, no other charity social enterprise, certainly in Wales, has really tried to do, which is specialise in app development. We had plenty of ideas on how to make apps, but we didn't have funding to support the actual chasing of new business. The SEWCED funding that we received funded that specifically. And because of that, we've now secured quite a large contract, and we're making it here in Penrhys in the Rhondda. We're showing the community that innovation and new ideas can come from sometimes what many would think is a very unlikely place to come from. A lot of the products that we make support communities, but then of course the income generated gets reinvested into the community. What's exciting about it is that it's showing that social enterprises can be any type of business. I would hate to think that people think that a social enterprise is only a certain type of organization or a certain type of business. Technology has a huge role to play in tackling poverty and fighting isolation, and we wouldn't be part of that. We wouldn't be part of creating that.
We were at a stage where we needed to build a more commercial approach into the business, which meant that we had to increase the sales within the business. We have close ties with the local authority, so they advised us that there was funding available. I think the SEWCED scheme really hit the nail on the head for third sector organisations. The fact that we had the opportunity with the funding gave us the confidence that we could build that extra business up and get the rewards from it. In 2013-14, which was just after the project started, our sales went up by 28.5%. And then this year, it's been a consistent increase, and again, we've increased by another 25%. We safeguarded probably about 10 people's jobs, and we've got 4 people where we've created new jobs for them. The hope is that we will increase sales up to about £1 million in the next year or so. SEWCED has allowed us to become much more commercially viable in quite a short period of time. With the increase in sales we've already achieved, we believe we can push on and increase that to make sure that we are less reliant on funding, which is ever decreasing, so we continue to employ disabled people and continue to create employment for disabled people. We've got our 100th year in 2023, and we've definitely got to be around to celebrate that.
As you have seen from the businesses showcased today, the social economy is vital in delivering economic outputs within some of the most deprived areas in Wales. Without SEWCED, the social economy across the South East Wales region would be less sustainable, there'd be less jobs, and there'd be less organisations. There've been many lessons learned. These include the targeted approach with local officers using local knowledge is essential to assist in these enterprises on their journey towards sustainability. Another lesson we've learned is that a strong board and strong governance is essential also in moving them along this journey, and that without that, the social enterprise is set up to fail. A final but most important lesson learned is that grant funding is also essential in moving these organisations towards sustainability. The message is that the job is not yet fully done and further ongoing support and funding is needed.